Most people would look at this and call it art. And honestly, it makes sense. I would tend to agree, actually, but that's not really what this is. This is here to do a job. It's pulling you in. It's getting your attention. It's here to give you a sense of what this ride is going to feel like before you even get in line. And that right there is where a lot of people get this wrong, because some things are made to be experienced and other things are designed to do something very specific. And if you can't tell the difference, then you'll have a hard time telling whether or not your designs are working. So the question becomes, what is this actually doing? And this is where art and design start to separate, because at a glance they can look almost identical. If you're only judging based on how something looks, it could be really easy to miss what's actually going on. They can both be well crafted, they can both have strong illustration, they can both look like something that you'd hang on a wall in your home, but what separates them is how you experience them. Generally speaking, and not in every case, but generally, art is for the heart and design is for the mind. Art can be expressive, it can be open to interpretation, it can exist just to be experienced. Design, on the other hand, is very different. There's a purpose behind it. There's always something that is meant to support, shape, or influence. It's there to affect your behavior and what you do next. And you can see that happening right over here too. This mural that we find in Frontierland, it looks like a historical illustration, like something that you might expect from that time period, showing the riverboat and the world around it. And honestly, you could just stand here and enjoy it and take it in like a piece of art. As you walk into Frontierland, before you even see the Mark Twain, you see this first. So before you ever step onto that riverboat, you already have a sense of what the experience is going to feel like. This wasn't just put here to look good. It's shaping your expectations, and it's helping to define the experience before you even get to it. If you walk upstairs in the Disneyland Hotel, just above where Goofy's Kitchen is, you will see a hallway that's filled with art. And as we walk down this hallway, we find art pieces all over the place. We find things like this. This is beautifully painted and illustrated. It is artistic, but it's concept art. This was designed to give the Imagineers an idea of what the ride would look like when it was completed. And once you start noticing that difference, you'll start to see it in places that you might not expect. Because even though this looks like artwork, it's actually part of the process. The point of concept art is to figure things out before anything gets built. It gives a team something that they can look at, respond to, and make decisions from. And that's not just how it worked back then, it's exactly how things work today. Concept art turns an idea into something visible so that it can be understood and developed before it becomes real. So in this context, it's not just artwork. It's part of the process that develops the final experience. Now compare that to something that's just meant to be experienced. You can stand in front of it as long as you want and take it in however you want, interpret it however you want, and there's no expectations tied to it. But this is different. This isn't open-ended in some way. It's designed to guide what you notice, shape what you expect, and influence what you do next, whether you realize it or not. And this is where it starts to matter more, because in design, you're usually given a clear goal. Something needs to be communicated and something needs to happen as a result. The challenge is whether your design actually does that, because something can look really good and still not communicate clearly. It can look polished and still not guide someone toward what they're supposed to do next. Because design isn't just about how something looks, it's about what happens because of it and whether it actually does what it was intended to do. One of my instructors said something back when I was in college that stuck with me. Design is about purposeful planning. And the more I've thought about that over the years, the more it makes sense, because we're not just making stuff, we're planning what happens next. So next time you have a design project, don't just ask, does this look good? Ask what it's supposed to be doing. Is it helping someone understand what matters, or is it guiding them toward a clear next step? Because if something is created to serve a specific purpose, it's design, even if it looks like art. And yeah, there's overlap. Some things lean more toward art, and some things lean more towards design, and some of them sit right in between, but this is the question that cuts through all of it. What is it there for? Because if you don't know what it's supposed to do, you won't be able to tell if it's working. So yeah, I mean, at first glance, this looks like art, and honestly, I get it, but now you know what to look for. If it's there to be experienced, you're probably looking at art. If it's there to guide you or influence you or shape what you do next, that's design. And that's what you should be looking for every time. If you want to learn more about how design actually works, check out my video on negative space.